towards the beginning of Bomb season. We trophied with it, and I'm back with a pretty big update to the deck. Before we were playing Ledger Shredder Mishra's Bauble, and I decided that instead of Shredder, I really wanted to play Profane Tutor. Profane Tutor is just so good, I think, in the Goryo's archetype, helping you find either your Goryos or your Emrakul, whichever piece you're missing. And kind of Mishra's Bauble also opens up the deck pretty well. I ended up adding the 21st land and 3 copies of Spell Pierce to the main. And getting to main deck Spell Pierce in a deck like this feels really, really exciting. You know, Spell Pierce is great in Modern. It is, like, quietly one of the best one-mana spells, and not only protects your combo, but buys you a lot of time, is hard for your opponents to play around. I just, like, love how, like, clean this list looks. It's low to the ground, mana curve's really low, you have a really, like, cohesive, nice plan B, or plan, you know, one of your other plan A's with the Asmo Urza Saga plan. You have a lot of cheap interaction. And Rona is also awesome in this list. So you're not really using the Cast a Legendary Spell untap mode very often, although you do have Asmo to trigger that. But you know, a 1/3 looter is, like, kind of quietly the best looter there is. Just, like, by itself, 1/3, tap, draw a card, discard a card is so nice in the Unholy Heat, Red and 6 format. But also, Rona being able to transform gives you a nice plan C, and also, like, you have, like, plan D of, like, transform Rona, Asmo shoot Rona, cast Emrakul from your hand with Rona's ability, which is not something we did last time, but it's just kind of the combination of everything, I think, that comes together really, really well in this shell. I spent a lot of time last night playtesting Pioneer. Also, I spent probably like 2 hours prepping for today's Modern stream, and then I spent like 5 hours in Pioneer, and I don't think I'm ready to stream it yet. Maybe I play something today, but I don't know. Pioneer continues to be tough to get back into, but I really want to get back into it. But we can play some Modern today. Please no Pioneer. I'm gonna. You know, there's a lot about Pioneer I don't really understand. Dixon, thank you for 25 months. There's a lot about Pioneer I feel like I don't really understand. It's like when I see just people playing like 5, 6, 7 random spells in their deck, it's just like, what are you doing here? I don't know. Like when Duik is playing the Landfall deck yesterday and has... I got the Emergent Ultimatum, like when I was working on drafts of the deck, I had the Emergent Ultimatums, and then there's Ugin and Chandra, like, man, I really would not have... Whoa, look who's back! Hey, Mantis Rider, welcome back! Good to see ya! Been too long. I don't know, so I just don't know. I just am having a hard time in the format is all I'm saying. Having a hard time. And, you know, this is just what it's like to, like, switch formats, right? You play something for a really long time, and it just takes you a little while to relearn. Shut up with the Twitch Prime. Thank you. Hope you're doing well. Pioneer mana base is 3-color feasible. You can 3-4 color, but for the most part, you're, like, way more incentivized to not. No second land, huh? Agency Spike having a hard time? I mean, a hard time is good. Challenges are good. I like having a hard time. Okay, let's go to Spell Pierce. It's boring if you never have a hard time. Claudia here winning challenge a 5-color Niv. I know. But it's interesting. It's kind of nice, like, to like have like a very fresh format to mess around with too, since of course I've been just so focused on Modern for so long at this point. I don't really want to give them a card, especially when they're missing land drops, but I do feel like comfortable enough to make an attack here. I think I could just discard this second Rona. Born with it with the 11 months. Thank you. Hope you're doing well. Just play Legacy instead. Maybe like Legacy. I just feel like when you're brewing a Legacy right now, it's like there's not like much to do besides this is the Commander card that I'm playing with today. You ever see this card before? I bet you haven't. Well, it's kind of fringe Legacy playable. I don't know. It's not the worst, but this is kind of what it feels like. Okay, there's a Profane Tutor. Let's go ahead and loot. Discard the Delta. Play another Saga. Cast a Cookbook. Oh, the Sentinel's 2 power now. Okay, I guess I'm not going to suspend the Profane Tutor then. Am I going to attack? Let's see. So my opponent has 7 points of power in play. Yeah, seems like it's best to pump the brakes a little bit, even though I'm kind of scared of those Mantis Riders. I guess if we attacked with both, they did have to block. No, so they're 15. They're 15, never mind. Dead to land if we attack? Yeah. Well, if we attack with one of them, we're not dead with land. Reflector Mage. Pioneer feels like play Thoughtseize, counter spells, or be the absolute fastest thing. That's your options, not a lot of grind value. I mean, yeah. Sure. It's more specifically, I even think Rakdos midrange, creativity, or play a linear deck. Okay, let's go and discard the Profane Tutor. Asmo will be a good draw. Emrakul will be a good draw. We still have the Rona. Look, Ovalchase Daredevil will be a pretty good draw. Let's loot. Seems like I have to... Bone Shards? Bone Shards a champ, let them draw a card. Attack for 6 if I make a construct. Put them down to 8. And then I can be in a spot where both constructs are lethal next turn. What do you think about Pauper as a format? I have very similar problems to Pauper that I have with Legacy, that I just feel like I don't like how that format is dictated by supplemental sets. Or at the very least, like, supplemental sets that are not designed, that are designed for Commander, and not designed for 1v1 formats. Like, you know, the Initiative, Monarch, these are multiplayer mechanics that are very, very good in 1v1 formats. That I think they really turned me off from Pauper and Legacy, despite me having liked both formats a good amount in the past. Obviously, like, not completely. I don't have like zero interest in the format or anything, but this is my biggest problem. I really think that the Commander products, like being legal in Pauper and Legacy, are net negatives for both formats. I've been working on it, Baka. I'm having a really, really hard time. Yeah, if you want to send me what you've got, I'm happy to take a look. I know I said I was gonna like get something for you, but I'm having a hard time with it. Ooh, they're convoking. Although, see, they have how much mana? Okay, so they're gonna have to go chump. Touch playing Bug Attracts is too much fun. Yeah, that's a good thing too. And like, this is also like very much like me on the outside looking in. Like, my perception could be pretty off here. How's Burning Ticks for Pioneer coming along? It's coming along. Like, I don't know. I'm enjoying getting back into the format to some extent. To some extent, at least. The drum. Okay, so make them chump. Let's see. Is there what could I draw off the Rona? Asmo, Daredevil, both would be pretty good. Nice. Now, do I want? I think I actually just want the Daredevil, because this lets me sack a food this turn. Which feels pretty relevant, just being able to go to 14. No Shadow Spirit punishing me here, that's okay though. Did you try some treasure creating approach for the Hellraiser deck to make the mana better? Like literally what, right? Yeah, what card that creates Fable? Fable? It's too many 3-drops. Fable's like the only, like, Fable, Ragavan, those are the playable treasure creating cards. I mean, you can make the mana work. I actually ended up gambling a lot on treasure chests yesterday and winning really hard, so I'm actually doing pretty good on treasure chest play points after burning a lot yesterday. And it's always Fable. Spike, have you considered? Spike, I see you're playing a red deck. Have you considered Fable of the Mirror Breaker? No, I haven't, Shatter. But I will now. Strike it rich, baby! All about that strike it rich. You don't think Prismari Command is playable? Oh, yeah, sure, I missed that one. But still, again, it's just like a lot of 3-drops. Because the brew idea we're talking about is Invasion of Amonkhet with Capricious Hellraiser, where Amonkhet fills the yard for Hellraiser, it's a good card to hit with Hellraiser, and it also copies Hellraiser. And Hellraiser's a 3, Invasion is a 3, so I'm just like I'm not dying. Another 3 drops aren't gonna fix your mana that well. Like when people talk about like the Rin and Realmbreaker is another I think good example of this. Like when people talk about Rin and Realmbreaker fixing your mana for your creativity deck, it's just like, oh, I forgot to untap the Rona. It's okay, they're just dead. It's like your 3 drops are not supposed to be your mana fixers in Modern. Okay, up a game here. We're gonna get these Spell Pierces out of there. Gonna bring in a couple Fatal Pushes for sure. We're gonna bring in a Pithing Needle for Aether Vial if we want. We could bring in a Haywire Mite if we randomly think they're gonna have Leyline. I really doubt they have Leyline. I don't think I want to play Brutality as like -2/-2. Oh, I clicked something. Okay. Yeah, I'll just play Needle. Yeah, red is really hard in a deck that wants blue-black 2 drops, blue-black 3 drop. It's tough. But it is doable. Bring in Jegantha. Riffraff, 20 months, thank you. Well, if I forget to bring in Jegantha now, I can always bring it in later. Huh? Removing Consider, adding Thoughtseize. Yeah, that's kind of where I was. Let's see. Three, huh? Oh, you're on the Reflecting Pool tech. That actually helps the mana so much. Wow. Yeah, the Reflecting Pool is always so sick when you have, like... It used to be for when you wanted to cast Archmage's Charm on turn 3 and Lightning Helix on turn 2 and Jeskai. It was so nice to, like... It was so good for, like, Triome into Reflecting Pool, and it's kind of the same for Drown and Lock Capricious Hellraiser, huh? Very cool. Love it. Honestly, looks really good. I'll give something close to this a test. I really think the Reflecting Pool tech is what I was missing. It's just like the mana looked really shaky for me. Another thing too, though, is like one thing is like when I'm looking at this list, I just have a really hard time. Like one issue is you don't have like Shark Typhoon, Seagate Restoration as big Hellraiser hits, but Hellraiser is like still fine here. You do have the Invasion, which is fine. But your Hellraiser's like worse than they've been in like other shells I've played it in. And you also, like, you do have Path of Peril for Sanctifier and Vec, but you're just, like, so much weaker to Graveyard Hate, which I don't like. And this is, like, another reason why I've been kind of stuck, is, like, those questions are really hard to answer. Oh, looks like the Record Tracker is back. Oh, awesome. Cool. No Spear. Yeah, I'm not playing Spear. I don't think we have enough creatures for Spear. It's, like, we're only on Asmo and Urza Saga. When that's the case, when I don't have, like, any other creatures in the deck, I don't really like to play the Spear, especially because like one big thing. Oh, you have Spear against Burn. Well, you also have Underworld Cookbook against Burn. You know what I mean? I still think you need it. Although we could be playing a Spear over like Second Brutality in the sideboard. Maybe Spear of the sideboard's fine. But I just don't really think this is a good Spear deck. Yeah. This deck is definitely very interactive for an Asmo list, huh? A little bit unusual. Thought we were talking about the deck for Pioneer. Yeah, honestly, like, we could, like, port this idea into Pioneer, although the mana fixing is still, is worse. Die? Collector Oof. Die. I'm surprised. Also, I feel like you see Kataki more often in humans, right? I feel like you see Collector Oof all that often. Hitting a battle off a Hellraiser is rough since you can't flip it. Yeah, I was thinking about that too. So it's not even that good. So I don't know. It's tough, which is why I've been so stuck. But there's some good stuff going on. All right, let's push the champ for mana efficiency, and let's draw a Rona or a Cookbook or an Emrakul. I don't know. Not that. Although it can be Jegantha time now. Or Tony, 14 months, thank you. Needle on Jurina. I think I'm just gonna like probably discard this to Cookbook at some point. Yeah, Mantis Rider back, huh? I don't know, it's kind of weird for me to play Mantis Rider. Oh, I mean, I don't know. Not judging it too hard, I guess. Alright, probably go to game 3. Yeah, maybe Needle Horizon Canopy was good there. So we draw Cookbook. I can go Cookbook, activate, taking 8 right now. I mean, if they have nothing and I draw exactly Underworld Cookbook, we're not dead. I mean, I would definitely imagine that my opponent's playing Rider and Adeline as their 3-drops. Hard to say. Okay, oh, I probably want this Aether Spellbomb over the Needle. Imagine how much better Adeline's right there. Yeah. I mean, I would be surprised if my opponent was playing less than 4 Adeline. To be a budget build? No! What? Adeline's not an expensive card. There's no way, right? There's no way Adeline's more than like a couple tickets. What did I burn play points on Pioneer yesterday? I like a lot of stuff. I don't know. One deck that I thought looked kind of cool, and may be good in paper, but there's a bug. Hold on, we can get to it in a second. I think the new Convoke Vampire is that card is really strong. I think that that Sorin is a really good tribal enabler, tribal payoff. And like Vampires has like a really low curve, and you're in Rakdos colors, and you can play Fatal Push. You're a really good Fatal Push deck. You're a really good Bloodtithe Harvester deck because it's a vampire. I feel like the shell has like a lot of potential, so I was messing around with that yesterday. But it turns out that the 1-drop, the 1-mana red vampire, it's a 2/1, and says all your vampires in hand have madness. Like that, I think that card is a card I would definitely. I wanted to play ahead of my first draft, and it's bugged. It just doesn't work. Your vampires are just exiled forever. Which I was pretty bummed about. I might just Bone Shards the Sentinel now. Yeah, Falcon Wrath Gorger. That card is just bugged. And it stinks because like it just feels like such an important piece. Like it lets the 2-mana like discard a card madness. It lets that card be playable. I think you want to play. Let me show you kind of like what my draft looked like. So I had that card over Fatal Push in my first draft. I'm also not sure about Vampire Socialite. You should maybe still play Push and just play Gorger over Socialite. I'm just kind of playtesting it. But it's like, I think you really want to play Stormkirk Condemned so that you can discard your Orzhov or Markov Barons to madness them. And so you can discard Silver Smoke Ghoul and get this goals back with Sorin later. But Stormkirk Condemned is bugged, so I don't know. Yeah, I'm not playing Galta. I just think the combo is too inconsistent. Ooh, baby, we drew an Emrakul. And we even have a backup Ovalchase Daredevil. No room for Cordial Vampire? I don't know. There's a lot of vampires. The deck honestly felt pretty good. It was the one I thought it maybe had the most potential. I was thinking you still want Champion Dallas. Rakdos felt really tough. Maybe, yeah. So I was thinking that like Sorin plus Silver Smoke Ghoul gave you like a good amount of grind against Rakdos, but maybe that's not the case. Was that a Pioneer deck? Yeah, I've started to brew in Pioneer lately. Yeah. That's not a modern deck. Not a modern deck. Okay, hopefully they play Cigar Aid. They never do when you have Spell Pierce up. Go, Rona, go! Is JVP unplayable now in Modern? I had Jace in, so I decided Shredder was good in the shell. I wanted more consistency for the combo and Profane Tutor. I considered playing in some of those flex spots a couple copies of Jace, but we just really don't have enough instants and sorceries, I think, for Jace. We're close. We're not super far away with the Goryos, the Bone Shards, and the Thoughtseizes, but Spell Pierce isn't good with it. Profane Tutor's not good with it. And it's just like Jace is maybe very fringe playable, but it's like you're also like just not jumping through a lot of hoops to get to play it. Oh, the turn 2 Cigar Aid. I see. I see. Alright. Loot. 2 Pallies, damn it. Although they still need one more artifact for Metalcraft. Any update on Hellraiser? I already think the card is too weak. I mean, that deck's okay, so like the biggest problem is like that deck doesn't like really have... There's not like much reason to play that build over like a more traditional just Murktide. That makes sense. Alright, so they still need... Oh, right, when we get the Rona untap. So let me go Saga, Cookbook, get back Daredevil, discard Daredevil, Emrakul. Yeah, so we're dead if they draw Ornithopter or Midnight, because that lets them flying the Paladin. Or land plus this lets them do it too. Close game. We'll make sure they know about the flying trick with Inkmoth Nexus. I think most Hammer players know. Okay, down a game against Hammer. We're gonna bring in our pushes, our Aether Spellbomb, and our Mites. Gonna cut the Spell Pierces, and I think I'm cutting Profane Tutors also. They're just a little too slow. Although, I don't love all... I mean, the Thoughtseizes are okay. But maybe I want to be going down to, like, 3. I can play a Needle also. Kind of like that. I'm excited for Lord of the Rings. I'm very excited for Lord of the Rings, yeah. That's all I can say until we have full spoilers. It could be some sort of combo deck with Nissa and Omnath. Thinking there's something kind of cool. She always finds Omnath. Well, I mean, like what's the combo, right? Like, there is just, like, 4-color elementals, 4-color control with this Omnath. That deck is really good, I think, in Modern. What's the combo? Or discard the Pierce there. I see their hand. I didn't seem like it was going to do anything. And also didn't do anything that game. Regains Flying Howl. Yeah, it's a little weird. So Hammer makes it lose flying, but then activating the ability again gives it flying again. You know, I don't know. Am I tempted by the ring? No. Well, I'm tempted. I'm not by the mechanic, but the One Ring itself, I'm so excited for that card in 8 key. That card is like... It wasn't... That card did not look anything like that when I consulted. But man, is it just so perfect for 8 key. 8 key also a deck I developed after, like a few months after consulting on Lotar. We're gonna keep. Timestamp thing. Yeah, it's definitely a thing. I don't... what kind of thing? Who knows? 8 key deck to be excited about. Y'all, the 8 key deck is so good, and the One Ring is so perfect for the deck. You get to untap it and draw, like... You get to go tap it, draw a card, untap with a key, draw 2 cards, untap with a key, draw 3 cards. While you have protection from everything. It's like, it's actually like, I'm very, like, very hyped for it. Got the entire bro set from a chest. Let's see, gives an icon. Yeah, I opened an All Will Be One full set yesterday off stream. I mentioned I did some gambling after burning play points. I opened a bunch of chests, opened a full set, sold it, opened some more chests. And now I am doing pretty good on play points. I'm doing pretty good after burning a lot. Okay, well, getting hammered. Pretty okay though with the Bone Shards in the hand. Drum is interesting, so I can go Mite, Drum. Oh, I guess it doesn't really matter, but I should have discarded the Daredevil before drumming. Just main phase, kill the Sigardazade. Takes 11, this is fine. Yeah, I mean, that is actually something, you know, about the Hammer deck, right? Is you just take 11. They did, you know, just don't take another hit. You can take 11. Alright, that's fine. You never took 11 before? Inkmoth Nexus. Maybe, gaining some life with the foods. Yeah, never took 11 before. Not worth playing Atraxa to have more targets for Goryo? I don't think so. Atraxa is like a lot worse. I would play Gristlebrand over Atraxa this deck with no flicker effects. So they're marching my Rona. Thankfully I have second Rona. Yeah, I'll play some red green food eventually. It's been a little while since I've had an update to it, but I think the deck's very good. I played it in a paper tournament a few months ago. What about Atali? What are we talking about Atali? So Atali is kind of interesting with Atali is kind of interesting in combination with Geosurge. You can go Geosurge, cast Atali, but beyond that I don't think there's really a lot. Alright, let's discard first. I guess we discard first. Can transform this. Honestly, feel like the looter is maybe a bit more valuable. I get to untap the Rona, but I also don't have any more cards to discard. Is it just better to? I think it's probably just better to gain 6. Do you ever transform Rona? Yes, you do sometimes, but I think in the spot when I need to find Asmo, I need to find a Haywire Mite. I'm like. And I have the Ovalchase Daredevil to discard. I think it's just going to end up being better most of the time to leave her untransformed. Daniel Ariolo with the 15. Thank you. Okay, so we'll go discard Jegantha because we may transform Rona and then just play the other copy. Okay, Bone Shards not too helpful. I think we're just gaining 6 again. Also Bone Shards the Stoneforge. I don't think I should though. A lot of looks at anything. I mean, I don't know. College is pretty good. On a 3, back up to 9. They have 5 cards in their hand. Looking for Haywire Mite mostly, although there's a pretty good chance my opponent has a protection spell. Can maybe bait it by Bone Sharding the Stoneforge Mystic. Oh, looks like they have a 3rd March. Okay, well. Pitching a protection spell, pitching the Surge of Salvation. I can't remember the last time I gained this much life against Hammer. So what's the play? Thoughtseizing them seems kind of interesting. I can go discard Bone Shards, get back Ovalchase, Thoughtseize them down to 7, gain 3 up to 10, take 5 down to 5. Seems fine. Give her Stoneforge Paladin. Let's take the Paladin. Yeah, top decks have not been great. They get a Shadow Spear. Thankfully, no Nettle Sister Sword. Come on, Haywire Mite. Okay, it's a good pickup. Especially because we get to draw another card. Okay, so discard Daredevil. I think I just play another cookbook. And I'll have 5 food, which will let me kill Giver of Runes. Now, hold up another Asmo activation if I want it. Oh, I can also Bone Shards. I can also Bone Shards. The problem with Bone Shardsing now is if I draw a card I like, I'm not that happy because I can't get like the Daredevil loop going again, and I don't really need to Bone Shards anything. Be a cool game to win. Remember, Asmo does not kill Cauldra, since Cauldra only exiles via combat damage, and Asmo does not make a creature deal combat damage to itself. So they're going to hit me for 6. I'm gaining 3 up to 8, so I'm down to 2. We have 3 Haywire Mites to draw into, which is really nice. And that is also an out. Forgot about that one. Sit up straight. Classic draw good cards, sit up straight. Bounce now before protection spell happens. And I think we just leave up mana. Doesn't seem like it costs us much to use the Bone Shards here. Because now we can make an artifact to start our loop again. Question 19 months, thank you. Frozen, I think I said thank you for 26, but thank you for 26, so I missed it. Yeah, Rona's way better than Jace, for sure. In my opinion. Ooh, we won. Awesome. Game 3. Fun game. Yeah, if I played only good cards, I'd have perfect posture. The quality of your cards is directly correlated with your posture. Yeah, tough win, for sure. I mean, Rona sifted through so many cards a game. I'll have to win game 3 on the draw, but I think our deck's not too bad. You know, I don't think I mentioned this today, but one thing I really like about this deck is that Sanctifier and Vect doesn't exile Emrakul. I think that's huge. And so you just kind of have like this built-in like great answer to early Sanctifier. Put it still not here. We seen Emrakuls in these games. Yeah, we Emrakuled in match 1, at least once. I'm gonna keep this. Is this version stronger than the time-seeded version? Hard to say. Like, you know, the merits between, like, this green-red food, even the new, like, what's that deck called? Or what's the card? The Crack Quick Reanimator card, Cremator card, like, there are so many different possible, like, viable, Asmo variations. I'm even like 12-3 with that Boros build that, like, you know, nobody cares about, and it's just like there's just a lot going on. Stewie, the Twitch Prime, thank you. They get a Cauldron. We can needle the Stoneforge though, thankfully, and then play a cookbook. There's just so many like viable Asmo builds, and I think that really in Modern, you should maybe be asking yourself, if you're interested in these decks, not which is the best, but like I think you should probably just try to learn them all and then decide which one you want to play on any given weekend. Would actually be my recommendation if you're trying to become an Asmo player, Asmo specialist, or something like that. Go discard the Mites. I don't have any green mana. I don't want to cast the Asmo. Don't get any untap. Oh, sorry. I don't know. I thought I clicked no on the Asmo trigger. We're also actually not that far away from shooting our Rona and casting Emrakul. We need 2 more mana and 1 more food. But my opponent's definitely got a slower draw here. So it kind of seems, well, they have a hammer. Okay, fuck. They don't have Metalcraft right now, though. Damn it! Come on! My opponent's 3 unknown cards: Paladin, Hammer, Ornithopter. Feels pretty bad. Let's take 11. Obviously don't love taking 11, but sometimes you gotta take 11. Alright, I think we probably have to find like a Goryo's. I don't think I can really play for the flip, probably. Although here, I'll let them have the cards so that I can gain 3. Even a Goryo is probably not going to do enough at this point since they have the Shadow Spear. I guess I'm just dead the Shadow Spear. Damn. Tough game. Tough game. Good 3 cards. Ugh. against creativity at the 100 burn. I didn't think it was that bad. I guess I'm gonna put back the spell pierce. But I feel like the deck is very good and just underplayed. You like this version over Esper Reanimator? I do, yeah. Yeah, Reanimator's curve is so high. I think it's the best then versus pure. What is the best versus pure Jeskai control? So that's what your friend plays? Jeskai control? Got the nuts here. What even is just? I mean, I don't know. Blue white is like way more common. Think Urborg Scavengers from Aftermath could fit into the Esper Soul Flare deck and Stream Decker. The Esper Soul Flare deck in my Stream Decker has Urborg Scavengers in it. They're just not in the Stream Decker because there are no Aftermath cards. Jeskai is blue white with Fable. Genius. Blue white with Fable. Is this deck better than you and has it into Emrakul? Yeah. One of those is 5 mana. This one is 2 mana. Alright, so we can throw an Emrakul at them next turn. One issue is that they get to, like, you know, actually 3, like, free permanents to sack. Our playgroup plays only Jeskai? 4 of us? More of the old school. I don't know, you could just pick, like, any deck. Creativity is probably bring them into 2023. We're probably playing the Cremator variant. That deck's pretty good. Shout out to Doomwick. They're not gonna Kolagons command me, are they? I would love if they killed this construct right now. I'd be so happy. Okay, they're not doing it, so I'm not so happy. Well, let's throw an Emrakul at my opponent, as promised. I would have not conceded if I was them. Oh, they're at 15. I didn't realize they're at 15. I thought they were at higher life total. I would have. Good concede. Good concede. Good concede. Okay, so they're, like, again, likely the Cremator variant. It's okay. Sack of food. You're alright. Let's get these Spell Pierces out of here. Fatal Push a bit better than Bone Shards. We can put like 1 Bone Shards if we want. Kind of like just look at this though. The Cremator deck doesn't play Goryos, do they? I can't. Do y'all play Goryos? I can't remember. Or is it just Cremators and like Emrakuls? I know the Emrakul's in the deck and Yargle. I guess it would make sense to play Goryos. Yeah, I should probably be bringing in. Do I also want the Aether Spellbomb? Needle. What are we gonna needle? Underworld Cookbook? Asmo? Yeah, the Graveyard Hate's not good against it's not good against the Daredevils, but it is good against Emrakul. Goryos. Oh, good him. How does this deck stack against the human deck we're playing? We beat humans in round 1, although it wasn't, you know, my list or anything. They were a Mantis Rider variant. Alright, take the Goryos. Let's play our drum. I think I'm like pretty okay with my opponent making a Saga token. I can Mite the Saga next turn. Let's just cast a Cookbook too. Also, I don't want to expose the Mite to removal spell. Locked on Convoke for Dallas. Yeah, I mean Dallas is still a couple weeks away. I'm working on the format some, but if I had to pick right now, okay, well expose it to the Inquisition. Damn it. If I had to pick right now, I'd also play Convoke. But it's also like because the metagame hasn't really adjusted yet. I don't think people know what the best way to beat Convoke is, and that could definitely change. Jegantha, save me. It's next week. I mean, it's yeah, next weekend, a week and a half away, right? Don't play Convoke, it's gonna get hated out. I don't know. I don't think that that's definitely true. I think everybody. I don't. Just everybody online feels like they just they have a full opinion, but things are shaping up. You know. I mean, I don't know. I just don't play enough Pioneer to really have a super strong opinion, I guess. But in my experience, from what I've seen, from what I can gather, people are trying to like the Convoke deck is very very fast. The Convoke deck is very very good. And let's transform this Rona. Let's cast an Emrakul. Obviously, we have to get this damaged, but if they're on the Urza Saga plan, the transform Rona plan seems pretty good. People are like, they just have a lot of opinions, and it's just gonna take some time. Like one thing about hating out the Convoke deck, right, is a lot of people are like in the festivities. 1 mana deal 1 to all your creatures' opponents control. That this is going to be like the answer or whatever. I don't feel like this is a very good answer. I feel like they're floating 2 colorless. And they discard Leyline. Now they're cremating. Damn it. Dead. Alright, game 3. On the play. I think Aftermath this fits into recommissioned elementals. Yeah, but you have to retool it, and it may not be worth losing this. Or losing Kihira. So yeah, it's just like I don't know like how do you hate out Convoke? Like what is the strat? Because I feel like 3 mana sweepers are fine against them, but they can be too slow, and they don't kill any of the 4/4s. They don't kill the 4/4s, which is a big problem, especially if it's Night Errant of Aeos. They got 2 more spells in the hand. Your 3 mana sweeper. Usually, to me, it looks like it's going to be too slow. So, yeah, like Path of Peril, sure. Like, the 3 mana sweepers are, are very good against them, right? But it's like, so is the plan to lose game 1, win game 2 with Path of Peril on the play, and then lose game 3 because Path of Peril is too slow in the draw, or you can't find Path of Peril in one of your sideboard games? Because that doesn't seem like a winning strat to me, if that's, like, your whole plan, right? If it's just like, I'm gonna lose game 1, and then I got Path of Perils. I don't feel like Path of Peril is so good against the Convoke deck. You know. Ratchet Bomb seems a lot better than Endless Ranks. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, there's a lot of ins and outs to the case, we'll say. I'm gonna take that cookbook. There is triple Yargle Emrakul. I mean, I just beat 3 board wipes. Yeah, a lot of people, yeah, you could beat the board wipes of the deck. So I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. What are they doing? They're trying to discard Yargle to Cragwick Cremator to deal 18, which is actually what they did last game. Hopefully they have another Saga. Authority of the Consoles? I don't know. It just, that doesn't seem like it either. We'll figure it out though. Like I do think that right now it feels like the attitude is play the Convoke deck or beat it, but also beat it while also beating Rakdos and beating Mono Green. Although Mono Green is maybe just not going to be that popular because it's really 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 bad against Convoke. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day who plays a lot of Pioneer, and he's like, I'm 0-9 against Convoke as Mono Green. So we'll see. In the festivities, that's probably a good card to play in like creativity sideboards. Now we're talking about Pioneer. There's a Pioneer tournament in Dallas, DreamHack Dallas, coming up, and I've been doing a little bit of brewing in Pioneer, trying to get ready for it. Okay, so we have turn 4 Goryos here. We're up against Enchantress. I'm gonna get a Swamp so that I don't have to lose to Blood Moon. The Convoke deck take down Lotus Field. Lotus Field is typically bad against aggro, is what I understand. I mean, Lotus Field is also like a deck that can just win the game on turn 3, so it's like it's probably not that bad, but it's probably not that good either. All right, big turn. don't know. I just feel like if you just draw a Boreal Grazer and draw on the play, you win against aggro, right? Against as Lotus Field a lot of the time. Ossification. Well, I think that they're probably going to beat me throwing an Emrakul at them, which is impressive. CK with the 5-pack. Thank you for the gifted subs. If you got a gifted sub from CK, make sure to thank them. We're going to try, though. Any triers in the chat? So they go to 5, they sacrifice 2 Abundant Growths and 4 other permanents. Second Sithis. Blue-white is by far the hardest matchup. After that, Neoform is rough on the draw. Okay, maybe so like blue-white is kind of interesting. One kind of question for blue-white, I was wondering, is it right to play Temporary Lockdown in the main, or is it right to play Ossification in the main? Because I feel like having a Dreadbore in blue-white is pretty sick for Pioneer. I don't know. Oh well, that gives me a plan. I brewed Scales of Pioneer. Yeah, I had what I thought looked like a pretty sick Scales Pioneer list. I thought Staff of Completion was like a really cool addition. But I don't know, kind of tough deck. Although if there's not going to be a lot of mono green, maybe. That is weird, JS. All right, so Goryos? No way! No fucking way. Kind of unreal. So they have to keep Solitary Confinement or they're dead. So they're giving me my Rona back. Keeping Utopia Sprawl land and Enchantress Presence. Very interesting. Honestly, still not doing great, but the Rona helps a lot here. Is Magic a hard game? Yeah, no. I mean, this is the combo, right? You have another Presence. Grove. Maybe Sack Grove? No Sack and Grove. Wow, no. Imagine we draw another Emrakul off this Rona. Just visualize it. I need everybody in chat to just manifest it with me. Visualize the Emrakul off the Rona. Damn it. Who didn't visualize? Who wasn't visualizing? Damn it. They discarded Enchantress's Presence. Okay, we need another Emrakul very soon. Crazy. Thank you for visualizing now. Maybe a little too late. Third Emrakul thrown at I've thrown 2 Emrakuls at my opponent so far. This is the third one. This is the third Emrakul of the game. This is probably enough. Yeah, just the confinement. They probably have to let the confinement go. Yeah, you know what they say. It's the third Emrakul that gets you in Modern. Crazy my opponent has tanked 3 Emrakul attacks. Look at this graveyard. 50,000 people used to live here. Now it's a ghost town. Our Transform Rona count's been like relatively high today compared to the last time we played the deck. I also swear this card was a 4/4. When I was like playtesting a lot of limited, I could have sworn when it was a 4/4 on the backside. And now she's just randomly a 5/5. Very suspicious. Yeah, I feel like we're getting Mandela affected with Rona a little bit. Always a 5/5, maybe in your timeline. I'm from a timeline where she's a 4/4. Yeah, I agree. The backside of this version of Rona, she just like stained glass, you know. Not very scary looking. But it's like a picture of her, right? You know, commemorating. We have no green mana, we have no discard outlet. We do have a Profane Tutor though, and double Haywire Mite. Let's keep. This hand's very good if we draw green mana. Worst case scenario, we Profane Tutor for it, I guess. We're on the draw. It's a good draw. Unless we get veiled. Yeah, I think I have to take the Weaver. Surprised they didn't cast it. I guess they're saving it for the Enchantress Presence. Or why she transforms into Blitter, which is why she's a 5/5. Yeah, no, I got that. I got that. So green mana this turn would be very nice. Fuck. Well, I guess we're tutoring Emrakul? You want to solve Pioneer? It's Mono Red Storm? Tell me more. I guess we loot first. Yes! We can untap the Rona with Asmo. I almost didn't loot first. Rona, so good. I think Rona's like a very good lesson in card design too, because it's like Rona is not much different from other looter effects, right? She's very, very similar to like other cards you see in the past, and I think it's a good example of how like you just tweak things a little, you know, you just turn up the knob, and the card becomes like these like this archetype of cards goes from like not very good to like pretty dang good. Yeah, not the same guy who sides out Hammer in the Hammer deck. Different guy. The guy, I mean, he's not always wrong. It's just like a lot of your friends too. They're like they'll get something right every once in a while. It's just awesome. But I think go to Thoughtseize turn 1. Oh holy shit! Mods, can we do Faller only, sub only? This has like never happened. Or hasn't happened since I was like, you know, much smaller streamer. Very weird. Mods get to do something today. Let's fucking go. Pata 6 months, thank you. Mods, save us. Save us, mods. I guess I'm gonna be getting another swamp. Discard Goryos? Just discard Rona. Let's discard Rona. Cast Asmo. I've seen this happen to other streamers, like massive like bot follows, bot spam. It is like, it happened to me a bunch when I was like getting into streaming. It has literally not happened in years. It's so weird. Underworld Cookbook, pretty good against burn though. I remember back when Oko was legal in Modern. I took Oko to a Modern tournament, and I just played it on turn 3. I ticked it up, and my opponent read it for the first time and was like, and said out loud, "How am I supposed to beat that?" And I said, "I don't know." That's your problem. Shield mode? Is shield mode good for the... That's something, right? Shield mode. Maybe we could turn that on now. I don't know. There's a lot of bans. Yeah, we got raided by bots. I guess we're at 10. probably not dying, but this is also possibly famous last words. Yeah, I think. Thank you for. Let me turn off the notification sound. What? Like it's like these like bots that spam, get free followers, blah blah blah. Like, it just feels like such a waste of time. Like, what are you? How does this accomplish anything? Thank you, Doc. Vesuvian Drifter game playing competitive? No, but very cool. Yeah, everybody say thank you, mods. Yeah, if they have a Boros Trauma in, kind of break the activation. I don't really think so. It's like, we get to present lethal next turn, which is awesome. And they have to have like Boros Trauma, burn spell, and we saw that their hand was like pretty land heavy. It just seemed really unlikely. And if we're just like sacking food every turn, it seems like they could maybe like draw like enough Skull Cracks and Helixes and Boros Charms to get me, but maybe not. Maybe that was unnecessarily fearful. Get the Flusterstorms too, even. Matchup seems very good, to be honest. I think with them being on the Vortex tech, I'm even going to bring in a couple Mites. Actually, oh fuck. Y'all remember Chance? Good move, Bata. Good move. Crockett, 15 months, thank you. Haywire Mite on top. I feel like before this, my ban list was maybe like 20, 30 people. It's like, I'm gonna triple in size. Alright, second guide. Swift Spear, pretty good start. Emrakul on top, maybe? Asmo would be really good, of course. Emrakul. Ding, ding, ding. I think we'll discard the Mite. Maybe we'll Goryo's Asmo if they kill it. What did we lose to the Hammer this league? Tough game 3. This deck's feeling pretty good though. Again, I love, love, love that Sanctifier just doesn't beat Emrakul. They suspend a Rift Bolt. Does exile Asmo, so I can't Goryo's it though, and I can't Spell Pierce the Rift Bolt. Doesn't fucking matter. Man, when you draw hot with this deck, it's so nice. But also like with the Profane Tutors and like the filtering from Rona, and the fact that you're just like okay doing your thing until you draw the combo. This deck feels really good, I think. Felt really good last time too. Let's do one more league with this. I do have another modern deck that I think is, I'm not sure how to feel about it, because I think at surface level the backup deck today does not look that exciting. But I like quietly feel like it is. We'll talk about that later, I guess. I feel. Let me show you what I mean for the backup deck. Oh, sorry, still in Pioneer.